Live from the Caterpillar Global Communications Center at Bradley University, this is BUTV News.
Good evening and welcome to BUTV News. I'm Elvi Shipant.
And I'm Julia Hunt. Let's take a look at the news.
This semester's spring concert was a blast, full of Bradley talent, yet the event could not be coordinated without the talent. Taking place behind the curtains, Katie Luker shares an interview with the Associate Chair.
Spring is a yearly student-led concert that is organized by music and entertainment industry majors at Bradley University. The class was added to the curriculum by Professor Carl Anderson.
The idea of having students take what they learned in the classroom and apply it to a real concert setting was really the inspiration for creating that concert, which takes place in the spring semester.
There are a few steps he teaches his students to follow when organizing a concert.
First off, deciding what the concert is going to look like, deciding which acts would be possible acts for it, creating a contract for them to sign, as well as a writer.
A writer explains all the production elements that are necessary for a concert, like how many microphones you'll need.
Collect all that information, determine a proper order that provides logistics to work well as variety throughout the program.
To create variety, students will put the performers in an order where no one is playing a similar song back to back. This helps keep the audience's attention throughout the show.
Then we start putting elements like marketing, both in social media, creating press release, and creating a program for the concert. Then ultimately putting together a dress rehearsal with all the production elements, and then it's showtime.
Of course, throwing a concert together is easier said than done.
I think the most challenging thing is actually at the very beginning, and that is trying to line up acts that have a great deal of variety, that would have appeal to the audience for our student population to come, and acts that are large enough that they individually would draw a large portion of the crowd.
Spring is an opportunity for Bradley students to come together to display their talents. Join us next year for Spring's concert.
For BUTV News, I'm Katie Luker.
Thanks, Katie. Guess who's gone global? Bradley's very own program director for nonprofit leadership, Brad McMillan, is honored to be featured in TEDx YouTube's official channel. His talk, titled Playing Nice in the Sandbox Advances Society, focuses on civility and collaboration and tackles politics and leadership on a global platform. Through dialogue, McMillan explores how a divided society can rebuild its trust. The talk is available online, so congratulations to Brad McMillan. As a reminder, April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Teal is the main color used to promote awareness, so expect the boys in blue to sport some teal patches. BUPD Chief Brian Josko reminds students that there are many resources for victims, including counseling and local support services like calling 211. It's important to note that often crimes go unheard or unreported due to stigma, which is not just found amongst women, but men too, who may cultivate an environment of shame towards the issue. Therefore, an observation helps us to honor survivors and increase visibility around the crisis. Although the national observation dates back 25 years ago, activism goes back further and will continue to persist in order to create justice.
As is tradition, this semester we'll host a visiting writer to discuss their latest work of literature, and tomorrow we are honored to present poet Adrienne Sue from Dickinson College. Sue has been awarded with a Pushcart Prize and a National Endowment for the Arts. She will be discussing her writing process along with reading, book, and signing. Her poem collection includes titles such as Peach State and Century, works which focuses on the daily over the exotic. If you're curious and have any questions, feel free to reach out to Dr. McCrory.
Peoria, be prepared as All-Time Low makes the headlines. This Saturday, April 11th, will receive rock band at the Renaissance Coliseum. Everyone's talking about their upcoming show, which this time goes as low as $50. Students and staff are encouraged to use code ATL26 for a Bradley discount. With this exciting show, dear BUTV, count me in.
Every Friday, Association gathers at the Student Center to discuss sustainable clothing. They fix and build upon ethical clothing, but what else does Association offer? For a closer look, BUTV's technical director, Connor Higgins, jumps to the field and finds out.
We're here at the Mitchell Student Center, where Association is hosting its weekly Fix It Friday. Let's head inside and see what they're working on. Last week, I had the pleasure of sitting down with JP, a member of Association. He shared all about the club and the magic behind Fix It Friday.
Today we're doing our normal Fix It Friday event in which we allow anyone to come up and they can show us any clothes they have, and if they have like rips or broken seams or need to be rehemmed or broken zippers, we can take care of that.
JP explains the goal of the club and how wasted clothes are bad for the environment.
The main point of the club is to help stop waste, because so many tons of clothes are thrown away in the United States of just clothes that are perfectly wearable or could easily be fixed.
He discusses the club's quilting workshop as well.
Our quilting workshop brings more awareness to the environmental side of things and also gives Bradley an opportunity to represent itself.
The Association Club is having students collaborate on a quilt that will help raise awareness for the environment.
The quilt is giving a bunch of different students the ability to put their initials onto the quilt, and then it will be donated around to different places, and so you can see a lot of support for the environment on the quilt from the different people who have put their initials on it.
While talking with JP, he told me what he believes to be a huge problem.
Fast fashion is one of the biggest concerns I have, because it literally leads to so much waste and so much just mindset loss of caring about the environment.
Association's efforts to educate students on the benefits of reducing waste have made a meaningful impact. For BUTV News, I'm Connor Higgins.
Cassie Maxwell takes us down nostalgia road to 1 week ago today.
But first, a look at whether the weather will cooperate or not. Be right there.
Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
It's hot and it's no. It's hot and it's cold and it's yes and it's no. So guys, what's going on?
It's just like that Katy Perry song.
Yeah.
I could say it's in and out and up and down as well.
Oh my goodness. I have not been in Illinois for a few days because I've been competing in Portland, so I'm excited to hear about what we have in store.
Well, let me tell you something. Welcome back, Braves, to your wonderful Wednesday weather report. Let's look into this week, and yes, it is doing that typical Midwest thing again. The radar around Illinois is showing scattered light showers moving through the area. Nothing too heavy or widespread, but you run into brief periods of rain, especially towards the end of the week. It's more of an on and off pattern with clouds sticking around and the possibility of an isolated storm shifting over to the temperature map now. Temperatures are running mild for this time of year, with highs in the upper 60s and 70s. There is warm air in place, but cloud cover and passing systems will cause some variation overnight. Lows will drop into the 40s and 50s, so there's going to be a noticeable cool down after sunset. Finally, looking at the 5-day forecast, tomorrow we can expect the mild conditions to continue, with the high of 71 and the low of 55, partial breeze and some sun as well. We, however, shift gears on Friday with some rain, and that which transitions us into cooler temperatures that go on into the weekend, staying up around to like 40 or 50 degrees as our lows. Spring has officially sprung here on Bradley's campus, so make sure to stay tuned for any curveballs in the weather while trying to relax on Olin Quad this week. Now it's time for your entertainment news with Cassie Maxwell.
Hello, and welcome back to a very special April Fool's in retrospect edition of your entertainment segment. Let's talk about some of the major things that happened last week. First of all, the people behind Bug Snacks, a game that came out in 2020 about feeding bugs that are snacks to people to modify their body parts, released a text-based RPG about being a bunger. If you don't know what a bunger is, well, it's this thing. You see, if you've ever wanted to run around as this thing, then you should consider playing their new game, Rebungered, which is free on itch.io. In a much less cool move, Power Washing Simulator 2 pretended to release a game, a grime dating simulator game, actually, called Date the Dirt. They made a trailer, but unfortunately the game doesn't and will never exist, making this a significantly worse prank than the Bugsnax one. The creators of Bendy and the Ink Machine, an indie horror game, also made a trailer for a fake game that they called Bendy Nightmare Syndicate, which was a fake collaboration between Bendy, Tattletale, Five Nights at Freddy's, Garten of Banban, Baldi's Basics, Poppy Playtime, and Hello Neighbor, which are all indie horror games that have been accused of ruining the genre. The social platform Discord released its own video game that was available until today called Last Meadow Online, a massively multiplayer online role-playing game that you could play through the app itself. It's a lot of waiting and clicking buttons to try to stop the dragon from attacking the kingdom, but it does come with its own original soundtrack, and it's free, so that is pretty neat. And it would be a shame not to mention the game Satisfactory's fake update, where they address the lack of male representation in their video game by pretending to add a playable character named Jason that can drive a Cybertruck, which is truly what everyone playing the factory building game wanted. And finally, I'd like to end this segment with a reminder to the audience that we at BUTV News are never going to give you up. We're never going to let you down, and we certainly will never run around and desert you.
Well, I never thought we'd get rickrolled on BUTV, and definitely didn't catch that in the script before the show, so.
Yes! So many of the crew members at BUTV News work in and out for the Fuse event coming up.
So stay tuned for more information that's worth all the all-nighters.
These walls and windows hold me tight. The warm embrace we all call home. This little street is a land of liberty of its own, where I always have a place to go. I'm free to call this place mine. We all deserve a place to call home.
That's an American dream.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first round draft pick, on and off the field. We were taught to not show any signs of weakness. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. I thought that something was wrong with me. For 20 plus years was physical. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father, as a man, and as a husband. Put the importance on your mental health. I'm not scared to talk about it anymore. The first tool is therapy. The second one is positive self-talk. And then journaling, putting your thoughts on paper. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
One of the biggest interactive media events of the year is returning to the Peoria Riverfront Museum this year with Fuse.
Harvey Newcomb is live in the Global Communications Center with a closer look at the event and how students are bringing their projects to life.
Thanks, guys. While Fuse showcases student work in interactive media, it's also built on collaboration and feedback throughout the process from both students and professors alike. Here to talk more about that process is Senior Feedback Advisor Jacqueline Heisel. Welcome to the show.
Howdy.
Now, for our first question, for viewers who may not be familiar, what is Fuse and what's it all about?
So Fuse is a student-produced event, and it's sponsored by i3 Broadband, and it's our big end-of-year showcase for Bradley's interactive media department. It showcases games, animations, game art gallery, and all of the things that happen in our department.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like you guys do a lot. And you yourself have been involved with Fuse throughout your entire time here at Bradley. And what's that experience been like for you?
Yeah, Fuse is a little different every year. I've been on a variety of teams in a bunch of different roles, but the way Fuse works is that at the beginning of every year, they put all of the students in the interactive media department on 16 different teams and give them 3 weeks to pitch anything. And then they choose an amount of those teams to continue going forwards, building different projects. So my freshman year, I joined a team as a producer and was figuring out what the heck was going on. And I liked it so much that in future years, I got to be a team lead and was one of the people pitching some crazy thing and hoping that we got picked. And then this year, I'm on the feedback team, where a bunch of seniors go around giving feedback to help all of the teams iterate on things every week.
And, talking about your Senior Feedback Advisor role, what's kind of been... what does that mean, and what are you doing specifically in that position?
Yeah. So the last couple of years, there's been a feedback team and then someone who walks around with our Professor David. I'm the person that walks around with our Professor David. There are, this year, 9 different catapult teams that are making a project every week during Fuse class on Friday from 1 to 3. And there's a handful of other pitched projects that are going ahead and building things as well. So the feedback team is a group of seniors who goes around and gives them feedback on different things. We have somebody for each discipline, so a producer, a designer, a programmer, an artist. They see half of the teams every week. Our Professor David sees the other half of the teams every week, and I walk around with David. We both give feedback, and I take notes on everything so that David and their team lead can focus on what the heck it is that they're talking about.
There's certainly, a lot of moving parts. What can people expect when they come out to Fuse this year, though?
A lot of different projects at Fuse this year. There are 17 different games. There are 17 different animations, as well as the game art gallery and places to see everything that doesn't fall under animations and games. But this year's games are really cool because there's a bunch of different things. So there's tabletop games, there's arcade games, there's VR games, there's something that uses a DDR pad, so like Dance Dance Revolution pad on the ground, and just so much more.
And, when and where can people attend, and how can they learn more? This sounds like a great event.
So Fuse is going to be this Saturday at the Peoria Riverfront Museum, April 11th from 10 to 5. It's free admission, and if you want more information on any specific projects, you can go to our website, which is live right now at I Am Bradley Fuse.
Jacqueline Heisel, thank you for coming on. For Ty Gray behind the camera, I'm Harvey Newcomb. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Harvey. Up next, sports are not what you hoped, but Delaney saves us the best.
With a special musical rendition to wrap up today's show.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
It's important to get a flu shot each and every year because flu viruses are constantly changing and immunity from the vaccine decreases over time. Flu vaccines are updated annually to work against that year's viruses. The best time to get your shot is in the fall, but getting it later can still help. Getting a flu shot lowers your risk of getting sick, and if you do happen to get flu, it's likely to be less severe.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
All right, so it's officially spring, which means baseball's going on here at Bradley, but the MLB just opened their season too. Who's everybody rooting for this season?
I'm from Minnesota, so the Twins for me.
Cubs for me.
Well, I have the right pick this year, which is the St. Louis Cardinals. So, hello everyone, and welcome back to BUTV Sports. Spring sports are in action, which means we have a lot to discuss. So let's get right into it. The Braves hosted the Evansville Aces this past weekend for baseball, and the Braves picked up 1 win and unfortunately 2 losses. After opening the series with a 5-2 win on Friday, the Braves could not carry momentum through the rest of the series. The second game was suspended due to weather and resumed the following day, where the Aces pulled away with a 12-3 win. Evansville followed with a 9-4 win the following day to close the series. The highlight of the weekend for the Braves was in Game 1, where the Braves used a 4-run 7th inning to clinch the win. Landon Lowe and Hayden Miller each delivered 2-run doubles to flip the game in the Braves' favor. Yesterday, Bradley kicked off a 5-game road trip with a tough game against Purdue, resulting in a 13-6 loss for the Braves. The Braves continue this road trip with a 3-game road series at Valparaiso beginning on Friday. It may be the offseason for women's basketball, but we received some exciting news last week. After head coach Kate Popovic-Goss left Bradley to coach at Boston College, the athletic department announced Kaya Meyer as the 11th head coach in Bradley women's basketball history. Meyer joins Bradley after spending the last 2 seasons as an assistant coach at Marquette University, where she played a key role in the development of multiple all-conference players. Before her time at Marquette, she orchestrated a turnaround at Edgewood University, transforming the program into a consistent contender over her 8 seasons there, where she became the winningest coach in program history. Welcome to the Hilltop, Coach Meyer. 3 program records in top 10 times were set this past weekend as Bradley Track and Field competed in the Stanford Invitational and the Pace Setter Sports Invitational. 2 of those records were set in the Stanford Invitational on Friday night as Trixie Wraith ran a historic 5,000-meter race, clocking a time of 15:51.98. Nadia Poitgetter finished just behind her teammate at 15:53.83 for the program's new second fastest time. On Friday night, J.D. Rosley ran a 28:25.07 in the men's 10,000-meter invite section, shattering the previous record by 24 seconds. Looking ahead, softball travels to Murray State to face the Racers this weekend. Baseball heads to Valparaiso. Women's tennis heads to Drake and University of Northern Iowa. Women's golf will compete in the Purdue Boilermakers Spring Classic, and men's golf will compete in the A-State Spring Invitational. That's all for BUTV Sports tonight.
You know, it's fun to talk about spring sports, I think, because after basketball, everybody likes basketball, but then track doesn't get the love that they deserve. So I love hearing about all the good things they're doing.
Agreed.
So looking ahead, we have a lot of exciting performances to check out.
And scheduled programming dictates a heartfelt song cover to close.
Might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. You may not even know you have it, but you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand. With early diagnosis, you can change the outcome.
and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
We said we'd never break the 3-second rule. Never do that. And never become a minivan mom.
Hey, Chris.
As parents, we say never a lot, but never happens. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock.
Let's take a look at some upcoming events. For a night full of culture, this Saturday, April 11th, we'll have ASA hosting their annual Spring Gala. With tons of fashion, food, and friends, the African Student Association starts the event at 6:30 p.m. Enjoy live performance along with a side of fufu. Tonight's the night for all Bradley theater fans. The show, titled Everybody, premieres at only $10 for students. Enjoy from today until Sunday and support the talent that brings the magic back to the stage. And of course, not only students, but everybody is welcome.
I don't know about you guys, but there's a ton going on this weekend. I think I might try to stop by Fuse.
Whoa, that's good. I'm an animation student, so we'd love to see you there.
Right, me too. I think we're going to support our BUTV cast and crews.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, that's it for BUTV News this week. I'm Avishi Pons.
I'm Cassie Maxwell.
I'm Delaney Giles.
I'm Kerrigan Craig.
And I'm Julia Hunt. We leave you tonight with a performance from Kiana Baylor. Have a great night, Braves.
If you were falling, then I would catch you. You need a light. I'd find a match, 'cause I